Hello, so I am the gig nerd. I've dedicated my life to live music. I've been to over 200 gigs. I've seen over 400 bands if we include support acts and festival shows, which I'm going to. And I plan on just discussing the week, the month in music, all the live gigs that have happened this month, all the live gigs that have been announced this month, all the big things that happen in the music, all the new albums and everything. And we're just going to see how it goes. So, shall we start documenting the live music and seeing what's happened this week? So I want to start with this band Better Lovers. There's sort of a super group that's come out of this band Dillinger Escape Time and Dillinger Escape Plan, pardon me, and Every Time I Die. That was an easy mistake to have made. The lead singer of Dillinger Escape Plan, I'm getting them so mixed up now, Greg, has joined in with the rest of the band of Every Time I Die. There was some beef there. The lead singer left Every Time I Die. His brother's still in Every Time I Die. They disbanded that band, and now they've sort of created this super group, Better Lovers. They've announced their new tour. There's still tickets for that at the moment. They're playing Electric Brixton, Manchester Academy and Birmingham Institute. They're a sick band. They don't even have their new album out. Well, their first album out, I should say. What is the... I know they've announced it, the first album. What is it going to be called? Let me get this up. The first EP that they've got out, which is called Only God Made Me an Animal, is absolutely incredible. Let's get this up. Yeah, so the first EP that came out, God Made Me an Animal, is incredible. There's 6 songs on it. I really, really like it. But the new album, Highly Irresponsible, it doesn't say here when it's coming out yet. Does it have a date here? October 25th, so not too long yet. But Better Lovers are absolutely sick. They're going to be the biggest band in the scene at the moment, the hardcore punk, metalcore sort of scene. Greg's vocals are insane, and famously live, that both Dillinger and Every Time are savages, and every show that Better Lovers have played so far have had 10 out of 10 reviews. I haven't seen either Dillinger or Every Time I Die, but I'm definitely going to go see Better Lovers. The EP is banging. Go check out the EP, God Made Me an Animal. I love it. Cannot wait for the album Highly Irresponsible. But yeah, there's still tickets for that, the UK tour. They played UK last year, but this I think is their first major tour. Electric Brixton's got a big show, but they're going to be amazing. So that's Better Lovers. Definitely go check them out. Next we've got Mr. Cancelled Marilyn Manson. He's announced 3 shows which actually look like they're all sold out. He's playing the Eventim Apollo, Newcastle O2 and University of Wolverhampton. He was kind of cancelled. I'm not going to go into his accusations too much because it's a music podcast, it is what it is. But the 2 songs he's released so far, I can't even remember that. Only as Sick as the Secrets Within, I know one of them is. That's absolutely brilliant. It reminds me of Coma White and Coma Black, some of the famous sicker Marilyn Manson stuff from back in the day. Let me just double check what those 2 songs are called, the new ones, because I don't want to give you no wrong information. Let's get this up here. But when I heard it, it was kind of surprise dropped. I didn't know it was coming. They get Sick as the Secrets Within. Yeah, it was dropped about 3 weeks ago. That's some sick 6-minute awesome track. Reminds me of Coma White, Coma Black, his classic darker, super gothier stuff. I love it so much. Raise the Red Flag's not as good, but I do still really like it. Both got an industrial vibe, kind of like a Nine Inch Nails, old school classic Manson vibe. But with Manson, in my opinion anyway, he's so hit and miss. I mean, he's had what, 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 albums, and I only really like 5 of them. Antichrist Superstar is good. Mechanical Animals is good. Hollywood is one of the best fucking albums I've ever heard in my life. And then he did like 5 albums in a row. He went off the rails. Came back with that Tyler Bates guy who did all the soundtracks for Guardians of the Galaxy. Pale Emperor sick. Heaven Upside Down is sick. We Are Chaos wasn't quite as good, but I know the accusations are bad. As I say, I'm not going to go into it, but in my opinion, I'm just happy to have Manson back in the music industry. I'm happy to be listening to his music again. But as I say, I do think those shows are sold out. Let me have a look here. Yeah, they're all sold out. So we'll move on from Mr. Manson. I'm probably going to talk a little bit about his music later. The album's not been announced yet as far as I'm aware, but he's obviously got something in the pipeline. He's obviously been working on something, but I really, really like both songs, especially As Sick as the Secrets Within. And then I'm briefly going to go into the new Blossoms tour. Let's bring up the laptop here. Blossoms. How do we get Blossoms? There we go, Blossoms. I think their tour, we're talking about all these tours now, but I actually think this has been announced like 3-4 days ago, and it's sold out basically straight away. I know they've announced a show local to me which is sold out. Let's have a look here. So it looks like there's some tickets left for Newcastle, Hull, Lincoln, Birmingham, London. There's a few tickets for Brighton, Portsmouth, Bournemouth. Still Bournemouth tickets, which is local to me, but Blossoms are blowing up, man. And I don't know Blossoms that well. I can't talk too much about Blossoms. They had the Oasis sign at the end of their Wythenshawe Park gig, which in my opinion was the biggest bit of evidence that Oasis were going to be getting back together. And we are going to go deeply into Oasis's reunion, but why else would Blossoms be showing the Oasis sign at the end of their gig? They're clearly one of the support bands. Even when Noel and Liam posted it, I still thought, Christ, we know what Oasis are like. This could just be a fucking live album or definitely maybe reissue, but it wasn't. Oasis are back together. We're going to go more into that in a second. But yeah, check out the Blossoms tour. I know they did some shows with Rick Astley doing covers of the Smiths. That was really cool. I wasn't there for them, I only saw videos. They did it at the Glastonbury I was at, Glastonbury 2023, but I wasn't there for that. I can't remember who I was watching instead of Blossoms and Rick Astley, but such a cool, unexpected sort of mixing and pairing, but it works so well. From the videos, as I say, love Rick Astley. Saw the Rick Astley solo set at Glastonbury, which I'll talk about later on in my Glastonbury sort of history and all the gig history. But check out Blossoms. I'm going to check out Blossoms more. They're definitely going to be the Oasis support band. And then we are going to go into another cancelled band here with Falling in Reverse. Now, I hate to say this, genuinely I do hate to say this, right? I love the new Falling in Reverse album, Popular Monster. I've never listened to Falling in Reverse before. I wasn't aware of them. I'm half aware of Ronnie Radker because of his controversies. I'm briefly going to touch on it, but I don't want to get sued. He's just sued Fontano for his accusations or his reporting on everything. But I remember listening to Escape the Fate back in the day. That died in Is Your Latest Fashion album in 2006 with the Cliche song. I can't remember what that Cliche song was called. What was it? Not Good Enough for the Truth and Cliche. So I would have been listening to that when I was 12, 13, super mega emo. And I didn't even know that was Ronnie until about a month ago when I started listening to the Falling in Reverse album. The Ronald video went viral with Slaughter to Prevail and Tech 9 on it. I heard it, fucking loved the song, listened to everything else on there. All My Life is a banger, the title track Popular Monster is a banger, every song on there is a banger. He's kind of metal rock's version of MGK, even though MGK is trying to be rock's version of MGK. Ronnie Radker is now MGK. It's getting really confusing, but I really like the album. It's one of the worst reviewed albums of all time on Rate Your Music. It's got 1.36 out of 5, which is crazy fucking low. But I really like the album. Like I say, he's had a lot of accusations. I'm not going to go into it. It's up to you whether you can look past the accusations and the bullshit and just enjoy the music. I can. Well, it depends on the accusations, obviously, and what it is, but Ronnie seems to sort of lean into it a lot, and but purely going on to the music version of it, I really like the album. I do wish Drugs was on the album, but I guess Drugs was released as a like a solo single pack. But if you just like that sort of music, let me see what the genre is described as, because it's so sort of all over the place. Oh, it doesn't even have a genre. What does it say? Yeah, if you're into that post-hardcore, metalcore, pop, electronic metal sort of thing, which is popular at the moment, you're gonna like it. It's harmless. It's just, I really like it. I do really like it. Whether I'm listening to it in 6 months or in a year is a different question, because I did like the MGK albums, but I haven't listened to them since. But we'll see what happens really with it. I like the album right now. I'll do a video in 6 months and I'll see if it's stuck with it, but they got me into Slaughter to Prevail, who are cool as well. They've had their own accusations, but yeah, check out the new Falling in Reverse album. Again, I think their tour is sold out. They're playing Wembley and the O2, which is crazy to me. I mean, they announced the O2 show about a week and a half ago, and standing sold out. There's a few seating tickets left. The Wembley show is totally sold out. I mean, they're playing Cardiff, Manchester, and Birmingham as well. They're blowing up, man. They're also playing Dublin. Got to be one of the biggest metal bands in the world at the moment. I think, other than Bring Me, had most metal #1s in the rock charts recently. But yeah, Falling in Reverse, I like them. I'm probably going to do a little review on their album as well. But yeah, Asking Alexandria support as well at the O2. Season tickets left. Check out if you're into it. Fontaines DC at Finsbury Park. I'm going to do a separate video on Fontaines DC because their new album Romance is just fucking, it's absolutely incredible, to be honest with you. It's one of the albums of the year, up there with Idols for me. I really, really like it. It's only been out, what, at this point, 3-4 days. I need to listen to it more. But it reminds me of The Cure, it reminds me of The Smiths. Their first 3 albums are really good. Skinty Fear was incredible, but this is the best thing they've ever done by far. And they're going to blow up. It was annoying at Glastonbury, they clashed with Idols. I went and saw Idols, but Fontaine's going to be big. And it wouldn't surprise me if, well, they're already big, but they're going to be absolutely huge. And playing Finsbury Park, that hasn't sold out yet. I really like them. They're incredible. I'm going to do a separate video on Romance and Fontaines DC, so we will move on to that. But the Finsbury Park shows Finsbury Park show, I should say, does still have tickets. The rest of the tour is totally sold out, but if you were to see Fontaines now before, I think they're going to go Arctics level. They're going to be absolutely massive. I can see them headlining Glastonbury in sort of 10-15 years time when they've got a huge career behind them. But they're definitely going to do the other stage at some point like Idols did this year. But get tickets for that Finsbury Park show. And then there's the, I just want to get this up as well, the Catfish and the Bottlemen shows. Now they have been a little bit flipped over. They've been flipped over because they announced all these stadium shows, and I'm sorry, they're not big enough to be playing Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and Cardiff Stadium. I mean, the tickets are £35, is that right? Jesus Christ, what year is it? 1999. Let me get this up. Oh my god, am I talking crap? Don't know what I'm saying. Is it already sold out? Oh, that's the hospitality stuff. Wait a minute. We don't want, there you go, just general, there we go. Yeah, so for the, there we go. So you can still get Catfish in the Bottlemen, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tickets, £103, no one's paying that, I don't know where it's at 35. I'm not a fan of There's a Two. I like a couple of their songs. I can't even remember the song name that I like really at the moment. I think it's called Cocoon. But how are they headlining Redden and Leeds? How are they playing Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? But the reason they've been flipped over is because Oasis have just announced their reunion tour on the exact same weekends. So everyone is going to be going to these Oasis reunion shows, and no one is going to be going to these Catfish and the Bottlemen shows. It wouldn't surprise me if the Catfish and the Bottlemen shows get made smaller. Maybe they don't play Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, maybe they play Wembley Arena or the O2. I mean, there's so many tickets left on Ticketmaster here. And it looks like half the arena's closed off the back off anyway, yeah. An AEW type situation for the wrestling fans. But Catfish are just going to be absolutely fucked. They're never going to sell these tickets. Cardiff can't be sold out either, can it? Let me have a look. No, so Cardiff is still, yeah, you can still get £103 for Golden Circle tickets at Cardiff as well. No rock band should be getting, it's not their fault Oasis have announced at all. I guarantee they would have been in the running for Oasis support band, they're that sort of genre. But I mean, it's fake that the gigs have been announced at the same weekend. We'll see what happens. My prediction now is that Catfish's shows will get downgraded because of the Oasis shows, but we'll see what happens. I don't want any rock band to flop, even if I'm not a fan. They just headline Redden and Leeds, like I say, so they're clearly doing alright, but good luck to them. Good luck to them as well. So next we're going to move on to, I have tickets to see Sex Pistols with Frank Carter. I'm so excited. I think it's at Kentish Town Forum. Where is it? Let me have a look. Sex Pistols, Frank Carter. Now, I tried to get tickets for the Bush Hall shows, which sound like they were the best thing in the world, but I couldn't get tickets. Alan McGee, signed Oasis, was in the audience. Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses was in the audience. Youngblood was in the audience. They sound like they're amazing shows. But I do have tickets to the O2 Kentish Town Forum show, which I'm super excited for. 1% of me is thinking about selling them for Oasis tickets, but they're all sold out, so we're quickly moving on from this. But if you don't know the Sex Pistols, they got one album. Johnny Rotten, the singer's, not involved with this, but I'm glad that Steve Cook and the rest of the band are doing this. Super talented Steve Jones, sorry, and Paul Cook. I don't know why I can't get names right today, but super excited to do it. Go check out the album Nevermind the Bollocks. It's somehow at this point become underrated, even though it's still being talked about 50 years later, I think it is. But I'm so excited for that. Frank Carter is the perfect frontman to do it. Gallows are one of my favourite bands of all time. Gallows only dropped 2 albums, Orchestra of Wolves and Grey Britain. Absolutely sick band though. I don't know the Rattlesnakes as well, but they seem to be blowing up. Well, they've already blown up, and they're big. But Frank Carter is just the perfect frontman. He's a savage. He's a nutcase, and it's a celebration of the Sex Pistols music, like it should be. I think if Rotten wasn't such an asshole, they would probably do shows like they did in 2007-8 with him. They would probably be playing. Well, they would be playing bigger shows and making more money with Johnny Rotten, but Johnny Rotten's a fucking idiot. So I'm glad they're doing it with Frank Carter. Frank Carter's more talented now at this point anyway. So we will move on, and they're sold out, but I'll take some photos and I will share some photos of that. Next we're going to move on to Leeds Festival, which just happened this weekend. There's been tons of issues. I mean, it sucks that, what can you do about the weather? It's in Leeds. English weather is English weather. It is what it is. I feel sorry that 3/4 of the stages on the Friday was cancelled, and you only had the main stage. That's so much of your ticket cost has been wiped out there by the weather, and it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault in the slightest. What can the organisers do? What can the fans do? What can the bands do in that situation? Absolutely nothing. It sucks so much. I wonder if there can be some sort, I wrote this down, like some sort of refund process. It's an act of God type thing, so they're never going to do a refund on it, but it does suck. The second biggest stage at Leeds Festival was cancelled. Who was cancelled? On the Friday, that was. Who was cancelled? I mean, people saying they had the worst day ever, they had to leave early, the tents were getting flocked at the band, the photos are awful. It does suck. I've been to Reading 3 times, I've never been to Leeds. And the weather is shit. That's what it is. It is what it is. I've been to Glasgow twice and luckily had scorching weather. But what can you do? That's not the organisers' fault. They put on a good lineup. Well, it is what it is. Well, the lineups are crap now compared to what they used to be. But what can they do when there's an act of God? You travel all this time to go see a lineup and it gets cancelled. It is so annoying, but it's an act of God, like you say. I don't think there's anything that they can do. And as far as I'm aware, there was no issues with Reading, so it's just a weather thing at Leeds. Should there be a refund process? I don't know. The 2 issues that there were at Reading is this absolute idiot 21 Savage. I saw some videos of him. He was clearly steaming drunk. And he turned up late. I think, how many songs did 21 Savage end up playing? Let me have a look. Just want to have a look. Let's have a quick look on here, 1 second. Sorry, I just wanted to check that. So, how many songs did 21 Savage play at Reading and Leeds? Okay, so at Reading he played 19 songs, right? Yeah, and at Leeds 2 days before he played 7 songs. He came on stage 40 minutes late. That's disgusting. I think that's a disgrace. He's an idiot. Anyone who's coming late to Reading and Leeds in a huge position like that, I mean, it's a little bit disgraceful in my opinion. He played triple the amount of songs basically at Reading. Came on stage 40 minutes late at Leeds. Then when you add into all the weather stuff that we just spoke about, that is just poor form from 21 Savage. He works with Drake anyway. I can't stand Drake. Don't know much of his stuff. I know Bank Account. What songs did he play? No Heart, I know that song. Bank Account, I know. The other 5 I don't even know. But for him to come on stage drunk, and 40 minutes late. It's just, he shouldn't be booked, and he wouldn't be booked for Glastonbury now. And I hope Reading don't book him again. Sure, he doesn't give a shit, but it is disgraceful to screw with your fans like that, in my opinion. They've come to see you, and you're going to turn up late and play a third of your set. He would have also known about all the issues with Leeds on that day. So it's just poor form from 21, in my opinion. I've never been a fan, never will be a fan. Lana was cut short at Reading. I do really like Lana. She's incredible. Born to Die came out when I was in school. Norman fucking Rockwell is an incredible album. She's just making banger after banger album. And she is one of the best musicians that we have going, in my opinion, talent-wise, in the world at the moment. But she just seems to be a bit of an idiot, you know, like always turning up late. I mean, she played Glastonbury last year. I'm so glad I went to see Guns N' Roses instead, because I was on the fence. I was probably more of a Lana fan at that time than I was a Guns N' Roses fan. And then this happens. She turns up late at Glastonbury, gets cut off, is embarrassing. I mean, it's just poor form. It's a similar situation to this. Well, it's the same situation to the 21 thing. I don't know if it was her fault at Reading. Let's see if she turned up late as well. I highly expect that she did turn up late at Reading, and let's see what the difference was as well. So at Reading, she played 13 songs. She started 15 minutes late, and they cut her off. Luckily, Leeds looked like they got the extended set that time. No, they both got 13 songs, and she's shortening a lot of her songs anyway. Yeah, I do like Lana, as I say. Wouldn't pay to see her live because of this. She did play Hyde Park last year, British Soundtime, I think it was. And I would, like, had she not been clashing with Guns N' Roses, I would have gone and seen Lana. But like I say, I'm so glad that I didn't, under the situation that happened. Huge fan of her. She's super, super, super talented. But yeah, we are going to move on from Mrs. Lana Del Rey. So, it's time to talk about the biggest news in the music industry, definitely this year. But is it the biggest music news for 5 years, 10 years? Oasis are back together. Now, Oasis are my favourite band of all time. I've got Definitely Maybe, that's going to be upside down, tattooed on my arm. I'm super, super excited. They're playing 14 shows next year. They're not going to be playing Glastonbury. Glastonbury's the weekend before their first show in Cardiff, so they're not going to do their first show back at Cardiff. And they're going to be playing warm-up shows anyway. There's no way Oasis's first show back. There's no way any band's first show back after 16 years is at the fucking Principality Stadium in Cardiff. They're going to be doing some warm-up shows in London and Manchester, I guarantee you. They're the shows you want to be at. But my God, I am nervous to get tickets. It's Wednesday today. Tickets are on sale Friday. Tickets are on sale Saturday. Pre-sale Friday. I am so nervous. I just have to see them. The photo of Liam and Noel looks photoshopped. At first, I thought it was photoshopped, but the photographers come out and said it isn't. And they put out some more Polaroid shots, which show that Liam and Noel clearly have met. They clearly have been talking. There was a news article that they've been laughing and joking, but I'm so excited. I saw Oasis at the Bic in 2008. I've seen Liam 5 or 6 times. I was at Nebworth, it was his Coco show. I've seen and met Noel. Yeah, it's just an exciting time to be an Oasis fan. I think now we're going to be getting... They'll play Glastonbury in the future. It just won't be this year. Next year's a fallow year at Glasgow, so I think they'll probably do Glasgow 2027. 30 years will be here now. They won't do that. I'd love a Do You Know What I Mean set. Stand By Me. Fading Out. That live version of Fading Out from the GMX in 97 is incredible. That's so underrated. No one's wrong about that album. I don't care. When everything is laid on the table and put together, I think Be Here Now is my favourite Oasis album. I listen to Morning Glory now. It's easier to listen to. Definitely Maybe has the iconic punkier side to it, but Be Here Now sort of has that cocaine overblown madness to it, and I adore Be Here Now. But going back to the reunion shows, they're playing 14 shows as of right now. I guarantee you those shows will get extended. Probably not as much as people think, because Liam's voice does need time to rest in between shows famously, and we don't want them to kick off. But I think we're eventually going to get a new album, Glastonbury headline, world tour. They deserve to play big shows in America. Let's hope they can just keep it all together. And because I mean, I'm getting crazy with it now, but I would like to see Liam cover some Noel songs. Noel's never going to cover Liam songs, but Liam singing If I Had a Gun, Everybody's on the Run, even It's a Beautiful World, I would love to see that. But I think the most important thing is that we get an Oasis album, maybe 14, 13 tracks, 3 of them wrote by Liam, 9 of them wrote by Noel, and then a couple wrote by, 1 or 2 wrote by Liam, by Gem and Andy. Hopefully Gem and Andy are involved. That's something I want to discuss as well. I mean, I want Chris Sharrock, Andy Bell, Gem Archer, and Bonehead. Bonehead is the 3rd most important member of Oasis, but Andy and Gem need to be involved as well. Chris is going to be involved because of the High Flying Birds. I can kind of see Russ being on bass instead of Andy, the High Flying Birds bassist Russ doing it instead of Andy, which would kind of be a shame. But as long as we've got the Gallagher's, Bonehead, and I think Gem will be in it because he's in the High Flying Birds, we'll be alright. I'm so excited for it. So excited for it. Some questions I was just thinking of. Apparently Coldplay are going to be announcing 10 shows at Wembley because they don't want to tour anymore. That would be crazy. Oasis have only announced 4 Wembley shows currently. I think Oasis could do 20 Wembley shows if they weren't doing anywhere else. Do we think Oasis would beat the hypothetical Coldplay 10? Taylor did 8 in a row. I wish I'd gone to see Taylor in hindsight. I never did go to the Eras tour. Hopefully she does Glasgow next year. She's not going to. She was meant to do COVID. It got cancelled in COVID. And she's never come back and made up for that booking. I think she will eventually, but she's got almost 2 weeks for Glastonbury, which is crazy to say. But I think Oasis will end up doing a Wembley shows alongside everything else as well. And I think if they weren't doing the other shows, they would definitely be 10. Definitely beat 10 Wembley shows. And we'll see what happens, because I think Saturday is, every ticket will be gone Saturday for these 14 shows. I think it's over 1.5 million tickets. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be sold out. And I'm panicking about getting tickets, but we'll see what happens. I saw BDI in Southampton. I will eventually do a video on that gig that I went to. Liam got me on stage. I've never got a picture of that, but I've got an audio of it. Someone gave me an audio clip of it. Liam got me on stage and said, what's your name? And I was like, Morgan. And he got me on stage, and that was amazing. Best experience of my life. I'm going to do a separate video on that when I get to my BDI part, but we'll see what happens with the Oasis reunion. I kind of don't want them to do Morning Glory in full, purely because I think they've got so many other hits. Are they going to play anything past, definitely maybe Morning Glory and Masterplan? Are they even going to touch Be Here Now? All the rest of the other albums are so underrated. Stand on the Shoulders of Giants is so good. Gas Panic's one of their best ever songs. Even Chemistry's alright. Dig Out Your Soul is brilliant, and Don't Believe the Truth is brilliant. But other than maybe Lila, what else could they play? Little by Little. Stop Crying Your Heart Out was a later one. I just think they're going to play stuff off the first 3 albums personally. And that's not Be Here Now, I'm including the Mastermind in that. So they probably will end up playing most of Morning Glory in full. And I also hope they walk on stage to the Swamp Song. Later in their career, they were walking on stage to Fucking in the Bushes, the later Standing on the Shoulders of Giants opening track. But I hope they go full throwback. Come on stage with those big balls. This is history. Yeah, I want everything. I want the new album. I want photos. I want videos. I want interviews. I want net worth. Yeah, but we're going to be talking a lot about Oasis in the coming weeks. So just to finish it off, the albums that I've been listening to this week, we touched on it a little bit earlier. The Fontaines DC album this week. I'm going to do a separate video on that. Romance, album of the week, album of the month, possibly album of the year. Go and check it out. The Falling in Reverse album we touched upon earlier. Sabrina Carpenter's just dropped a new album. I haven't heard the album in full yet, but she's absolutely massive at the moment. Just come off supporting Taylor on the Eras tour. I like Espresso. I like the few songs I've heard, but it's been a bit overplayed, hasn't it? But I'm excited to hear what Sabrina does. And then rest in peace, Black Midi. The new Geordie Creep song is out, which is absolutely incredible. It's called Rise Rise, I think. I just want to double check that. It's a 6-minute beautiful song, if I could play that word. Where is it? Rise, 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 rise. Holy Holy is what it's called. Where did Rise Rise come from? Holy Holy, off the album The New Sound, which is coming out. Holy Holy, which is, I need to listen to that more clearly because I've just got the song name incredibly wrong. But originally that was meant to be a Black Midi song. Rest in peace, Black Midi. They're going to go down as one of the most underrated bands of the last 20 years. The 4 bands that came up at the same time, the Fontaines DC, Squid, Black Country New Road, and Black Midi, they are all so good. I don't know Squid as well as the rest, but they've all ended up a bit weird, and like Black Country New Road haven't split up, but their lead singer Isaac left due to mental health issues. Hopefully he's doing good, but the 2 albums they released together for the first time and Answer Up there, 2 of the best albums I've ever heard. They've got a weird slint thing going on. Go check those 2 albums out. Rest in peace to that version of Black Country New Road. I saw the new Black Country New Road at Glastonbury do their live at that album in full, which was absolutely sick, but I wished Isaac had been there. But most important thing is that he's doing it well. But the new Geordie Group song, go check it out, Holy Holy, it's absolutely incredible. Rest in peace, Black Midi, as I say. They went super weird. Hellfire and Cavalcade isn't as good as Schagenheim, in my opinion. I seem to be in the minority with that. Most people seem to think Hellfire and Cavalcade are better than Schagenheim. I don't agree with that in the slightest. Schagenheim is just like so weird, and I love it so much. Hopefully that they'll just take a break, do some solo albums. I know Cameron's doing the solo stuff as well. Their drummer Morgan is just, the 3 of them are all so talented. So we're gonna hear more from them no matter what. But hopefully Black Midi cut, because they've got this weird Frank Zappa prog thing going on. What genre are they even under? Because it's so hard to even give them experimental rock, says it about all avant prog. But go check Black Midi out, one of my favourite bands of the most recent years. And I was so sad to hear that they'd split up. But Geordie Group solo song, Holy Holy, so sick, check it out. And then, other than that, this month I listened to, for 13 seconds, the Kanye Vultures album with Ty Dolla $ign. I'm a big Kanye fan. It's such a shame what's happened to him. Even putting the music aside, I feel so sorry for Kanye and what's happened. It's a shame, as I say, it's just a shame. I stopped listening to that album as soon as we heard the AI shit and it came out that there was AI in the album. It's disgrace. I'm not listening to Kanye anymore. He's lost my I'm not going to be listening to him anymore. I can go back and listen to the earlier shit. And when I say the earlier shit, everyone likes these original albums, Late Registration and College Dropout. I like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Yeezus, Life of Pablo. That's my trilogy. The Kid See Ghost album with Cudi is sick. Love Kid Cudi. We're going to be talking about Cudi and hyping Cudi loads on this channel. The Watch the Throne album with Jay-Z obviously is sick. Kanye's incredible, but he needs to retire. He needs to focus on himself and his family. But yeah, fuck vultures. Fuck AI vultures. So I feel sorry for Ty Dolla $ign. JPEG Mafia's just dropped an album. That album is absolutely sick. People should go listen to JPEG. He's underrated. I think last year dropped an album with Danny Brown, Scaring the Hose. I saw Danny Brown at Glastonbury. JPEG wasn't there, but he played a few Scaring the Hose songs. I fucking love Danny Brown. I love JPEG Mafia. Go check out him. He's this gothic, weird rapper guy. Big fan of JPEG. Go check out his album. And the Smashing Pumpkins, we're going to finish on the Smashing Pumpkins because I'm a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, but it's fair to say the Smashing Pumpkins have been shit for about 25 years. Let's have a look. Well, in my opinion, if you exclude the new one, Agori Mihi Mai, which I've definitely said wrong, they haven't done a good album probably since '95. I mean, there were songs on that Shiny Oh So Bright I liked. Atom can fuck off. Sire can fuck off. The Monuments, Oceana, Zeitgeist albums can fuck off. Machina 1 and 2 can fuck off. Adore, everyone seems to like Adore. I couldn't get into it. But I at least, the other ones that I said I really only listened to 2 or 3 times and then moved past it. Adore I've listened to 10, 11, 12 times. It's just not for me. I'm sure it's still a very good album, really. It's just not for me. But those original 3, Gish, Siamese Dream, Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, got to be up there with some of the greatest trilogies of all time, surely. Incredible band. I adore them, which is ironic considering I just said I didn't say adore. And it's so good to hear them doing a rock thing again on Agori Me He My. I'm going to stop saying the album name because I'm definitely saying it wrong. I know Billy Corgan did do an interview saying how to say it, but I don't really want to listen to Billy Corgan speak too much. But definitely go check that album. Definitely go check it out. It's unexpectedly good. My friend is a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan. He was like, Morgan, the album's really good. And no one would believe that the album was going to be good. And it actually is really good. So go check out the new Smashing Pumpkins album. But I think for today and the first episode, we're going to leave it there. Thank you if you stuck with me through this first episode. Hopefully in time the quality will get better, the camera will get better, we'll do some more talking, but hopefully you've enjoyed the first episode of The Gig Nerd. I am The Gig Nerd, and have a good night. Take care.